What's up? Nice. All right, y'all, we made it. We're at the Pioneer Village down here, and where is it?
Brownstown, Florida.
Brownstown, Florida. Man, we done drove all this way to see you guys. We're hanging out. It's like a pioneer settlement. All around here is like all these log cabins, and this is so cool. Stop right here. I'm just telling you guys, this is so cool. And each one of these log cabins, not this one, but I'll show you a couple of them during this video. Don't go anywhere, right? But they actually have the descendants of the people who built the log cabin originally or bought it and raised their families in it, and they have them actually here telling stories like how they remember growing up by them and stuff. And these cabins, I mean, this is stuff from like early 1900s and stuff,
1800s,
right?
too. I mean, they're beautiful. They're all different. The rooms, it's really cool to kind of go in and see.
But I thought that was
the
the bee's knees, because she was like, I remember coming here as a kid and all this stuff, and I was like, right here. And so they moved them to this area, this pioneer settlement area. But yeah, it's so cool that they bring the stories with them and they bring the family member with them. And I thought that was like, I was like, whoa. Oh, and this is our friend here. She's making candles. We're gonna keep moving so she can talk. Come on. Yeah, so we're down here talking to all y'all about hanging out, you know, living off grid and without solar power and all that stuff, composting, growing food. And so we're going to show you guys what's going on during this whole video, during this whole little conference thing, right? If you guys remember a couple of years ago, it was Hurricane Michael ripped through here, and they were without power. I think some people said like for months. And so a lot of them were hungry to learn how you can do things living without power, electricity, and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't go anywhere. We got something else for you too. So
all right,
here we go.
It has a very similar taste to carrot leaves, which are of course edible as well, but not as popular as the root. Is it what? Absolutely. Everything I bought, everything I've showed you is completely edible. I don't know of any side effects of this. Obviously everything's in moderation, but this is completely edible. I brought nothing today that we talked about that has any restrictions I'm aware of.
Reeds you can cut down the pith and get some of the pith out, and then dip it in beeswax, and you have a fire starter or a little candle.
The only thing that ever is cooked in here is cornbread or biscuits, because it's Teflon coated. See, it's Teflon coated. It's smooth, 99 and 9/10% of the time, nothing sticks. And so he calls this baby. He calls that baby more than he does me. So, hey, yes. This flat skillet over here, I've got one that sits on my stove. And when I do toast, I do it on that skillet, not that skillet, but a skillet that is just like that. And so that's what I do. I toast it there. And then while the skillet is still hot, or if I didn't do it while it was still hot, I heat it back up. And with a paper towel, I wipe it clean. I wipe it completely clean. Have to wash it. Now one time I did something on there that I shouldn't have done, and so I had to wash it just a little bit, but I did it with very hot water, and it just came right off. And so, but then again, after I put it back on the stove, I oiled it back down. You got to oil it back down, you know, you got to keep it. But on the other hand, you also don't want so much oil that it becomes rancid and tacky, sticky. That is nasty stuff.
Right up here.
That's somebody else. All right, hold on. Now we gotta take a picture with the whole gang. They all came to see us here. Wave so you can be in the video. You gotta wave.
Wave, guys. Look, say hi. Say hi.
All right, so mom and dad's taking pictures of us.
You're gonna make your own video. Thank you.
Right on. That's Theo. He wanted to see old Doug. He keeps watching the root cellar video. I'm watching the cave in because I was talking about 12 o'clock. That was cute. And there's Marge and Gary. They're getting their grub on. Hi, Marge. What are you guys eating?
Chili.
Oh, they got chili. You guys remember I told you, like, some of these houses, they actually have the relatives living here. Now, this is the Bailey house from the 1860s, and we're gonna go inside and actually meet a descendant of the person who bought this house from someone, a sharecropper, I believe was the story. And then they moved it and they raised their family in this. And then we're gonna hear a little bit about the story of when they actually moved in, the husband passed away, and we're gonna hear the story about what happened after all that. So man, that's pretty slick. I really do like that. Let's go check it out. So, boom.
Hey, welcome to the Bailey cabin. Come on in. I'd love to introduce you to Claire Bell Bailey and show you around her home. She and David, her husband, bought this house from the sharecroppers who built it in the late 1800s. They moved it by horse and wagon about 7 miles to where their property was located on the Chipola River. They set up home for themselves, their 9 children, and his mother, and shortly after that, David passed away. So she took care of her mother-in-law for the rest of her life. They slept here in this corner. Their 2 daughters would sleep in the other corner, and then the boys would go upstairs into the loft at night after dinner, and that's where they slept. Over the years, Claire Bell found out about a neighbor lady who passed away and left some orphan children, so she took them in. A family member here or a friend there who passed away. She ended up taking in 9 more children, so she raised 18 children in this home. Every meal she cooked for them was in this open hearth. She never had a kitchen proper or refrigerator, and most of what they ate was something that they could grow in the backyard or kill or catch or maybe even barter with neighbors. 3 of the boys that she had taken in grew up to join the American military, and when they got older they sent their military pay home to her so that she could have a bought-in stove. So that was enough money for her to actually build a room on, put in that store-bought stove, and then she had enough money left to put in 1 more room, so she did that, and then she put a bed in it because she said you never know when someone might need a place to stay. While they've set this home up to only have 1 table to show you what a home might look like, they said that Claire Bell's house might have had 3 or 4 tables at any given time because of the amount of people who lived here, as well as the fact that she never could stand for anyone to go hungry or homeless. So she always brought people in. People knew that they could share a meal with her. I'd like to introduce you now to Claire Bell's great-great-granddaughter, my daughter Clementine.
What'd you say? My what? My daughter Clementine. She's so cute. Do you milk cows twice a day now?
Yes, I do.
Oh, it's so cute. And what generation are you removed or whatever?
Claire Bell is my great-grandmother and Clementine's great-great-grandmother. Yeah. It was interesting when we started serving here, Clementine didn't really know that much about this part of the family, and she it was like one day a lightning bolt hit her and she said, Mama, we've always brought people into our home. We've always fed anybody that stopped by. We've always given a place to stay. And I thought we did that because we were believers, but I know now it's in my DNA. It's Clarabelle in me that causes us to do that kind of thing. And that's who we are.
Get your Kleenex, folks. My daughter Clementine. I mean, come on. You can't make this stuff up. So that's their cabin from the 1860s. And they come here and they tell their story and they share their pictures and they share their history. And it's really neat. After I did that with her, she was explaining to me that a bunch of college kids that came here one time. And she was just giving them the spiel like she does, telling them about her family and the cabin. And the girl said, yeah, I brought all my friends here because this cabin was in our family. And so they started talking, and she was from the family too, and she never really knew the story. So she explained to her the story of the cabin and the family heritage of it, and how her relative was a giver and they always fed people and made sure someone had a place to stay. And she started tearing up and she said, man, that's just like me. And her friends were saying, that's just like her. She feeds everybody and she always gives them rides. And it's just amazing how you can be connected, you know, through your heritage without even ever like being there, I guess you'd say, right? I don't know. I just find this stuff cool. All right, there's one more. Let's go talk to this relative of a log cabin builder. All right, so now we're gonna go inside the Chasen home. Now this one's from the 1820s. And she's got a cool story to tell too. And she actually remembers coming to this house when she was a little girl, when her grandmother lived here. So let's go check it out.
Hello, welcome to the Chasen cabin. This is my family cabin. As a little girl, I grew up coming and going with my great-great Aunt Mamie to and from this house from my grandmother's that lived just up the road. So this is my family history. This is my grandmother, Pearl Chasen Tatum, her mom, Sally Chasen, a cousin, her sister, Emily, which we called Aunt Mamie, and another cousin, and their sister, Bertha, which we called Aunt Pink. And so this would be my great-great-grandmother, Lucy, and grandfather, John. This is Lucy and John. And yes, she's got high cheekbones, kind of like an Indian, so we can only assume. This is her grandfather, William Byrd. William Byrd built this home. He was a builder and logger from up north around Virginia. And he built homes and churches on his way down to Florida. There is a church in Ozark, Alabama that has a plaque that's dedicated and says William Byrd built this home. One reason we know they were from north is because paperwork and the dovetails on the corner of the cabin, they're very distinct to a northern built home, not a southern built. The southern homes were built very simply and with rounder logs. These are all square cut big logs with very mitered corners on their logs where they join. So anyway, the kitchen was out back, of course, and it was still there when I was a young lady. And there was a smokehouse out back, and I remember pumping water from the pump that was out front. I don't remember the outhouse. Thank goodness I don't remember that. But they ate in here some. This was not a kitchen, however. There was a table and a bench when I was a child. This was not in the home. That safe was not in the home, pie safe. That is the original dresser, and there was a sewing machine in the corner, one of those little pump with your feet kind of sewing machines. There were 2 bedrooms on the back porch or side porch. One was for the school teacher and the preacher as they came once a month through town. And the other one, if you were lucky enough to get to sleep over, you could sleep in there. Otherwise, you slept on a pallet on the floor or up in the loft. My mother is 85, my uncle is 94, and they have lots of stories to tell about this cabin, and I'm just so blessed to be part of this family. Thank you.
I love that stuff. She just remembers it coming here as a kid. She says she doesn't remember that outhouse though. So here's the other side here. You can see how it was carved out, and they had a little water trough right here. Do your wash and stuff like that. Take a bath. I love this stuff. All right, we'll get back to the actual conference here and show you guys what people are talking about and what people are saying.
Now, we're going to bring this side up, come down, and then 4. Keep this one like that. Good. Good. So it's going to go across like you're rowing a boat or a canoe, right? So you're going across that one, right?
It's one of the survival guys. He's teaching them how to use like a baton and stuff, how to defend yourself. So that's pretty cool too. Talking about how you can, you know, start fires and, you know, hunt for food and all that kind of stuff too. So just all kinds of stuff to learn here. It's kind of cool. What's up? Nice. All right, let's get it.
Okay, well, welcome. We have electricity, we don't have any pumps, we don't have anything like that. And when we first moved there, that was probably the hardest thing we think, especially for me, because, you know, you have to think about laundry.
We did our big talk about food, heat, light, and water. And now Stacy's going to be doing a fermenting thing, a little fermenting class, talking about fermenting 101. She's going to do that one now, and it's all kind of hands-on. We're going to answer a bunch of questions. That's why you guys got to come to these events. You get the hands-on, you get to ask questions. You know, you get to see this stuff going and happening, and it just makes a big difference versus just watching it on the other side of the tube, huh? All right, let's peek in on what's going on here.
Brine is when you're acidic, some people just run through vinegar, or you can do it in a brine with salt and water. Sour will ferment.
Well, good morning. It's day 2 of the conference down here at the Pioneer Settlement. And this is a bridge that was taken out by that Hurricane Michael. Remember we talked to you guys about that earlier in the video. And they're rebuilding this bridge right now. And it bridges kind of 2 areas that they have here at the Pioneer Settlement. And it's kind of a nice walk from where we have our little RV over here. And we just kind of take this back way and coming over to see you guys right now. So it's a pretty neat little bridge, but let's see what happens on day 2.
Usually do about 4 on each side. Right now he's just got 3 on each side.
Now it's kind of windy and chilly today, but they're teaching how to make mobile chicken coops. Remember that? 6.5 million views, the most watched chicken coop video on YouTube, thanks to you guys. And it started a whole revolution on chicken coops, but they're just mobile chicken coops. But for down here in Florida, you can use them pretty much all the time. Not in our area though. You gotta have some walls and a ceiling. Ha! There we go! Man, it's brisk out here. All right, let's go see what other people are talking about. That's David the Good. He's talking about composting and stuff like that around here. And right now he's just talking about how he used to live in the tropics for a little while. He was born and raised in Florida, and then he kind of moved off to the tropics and tries to grow food in all kinds of situations and all kinds of food. He was just saying how different it was, and then after the last couple of years everything got kind of crazy, so he came back here. So now he's in Alabama. And they're making belts, leather belts and everything here. They got all kinds of little craftsmen and stuff for people to do and learn and listen to. And
a very hot summer. Hot, humid, abundant rainfall. That's the rainy season in Florida. And then you have a winter that is dry. And it often freezes. People say, oh, you live in Florida, so like coconuts, right? Well, only in part of Florida. But Florida's climate is the top part of Florida could be Georgia, and the bottom part of it is Puerto Rico. So if you write a book on Florida gardening, which part? You'll enjoy growing mangoes in your yard. Well, if you say that, well, you can enjoy growing mangoes up to maybe around Okeechobee, and it starts to get a little tougher to grow mangoes. Peaches are great in Florida. Well, you can do peaches down to about Orlando, and you get a little further south. Sometimes you just don't get the chill hours to actually get any fruit.
Gonna try to put his arm in now.
What kind of wood is it?
This is basswood. It's a softer wood. They say it's soft. Sometimes I find hard pieces and sometimes I find soft pieces.
But it's like the whittler's wood, huh?
Basswood is a whittler's wood, yeah, but I mean it's not. You can, if you have the patience for it and the tools for it, you can carve any wood. Most of my spoons I make out of poplar because they're nice boards I can obtain from a local lumber yard. These first cuts were called stop cuts. This is a paring cut.
You see the arm taking shape there.
As you call it, yeah, or some people would call it a pull cut. And then you have your push cut, and I'm going to take a little bit off this guy's head here. And there's your push cut.
See how he's pushing the blade forward? Push cut.
And then I'm going to get another piece here. I am. Well, we'll just put it on his back. And we have what they call a V cut. And it's like a modified stop cut. So I have the first side there, and I'm going to come around this side and carve right into the side of that. And I get a little design. I was just doing that on a spoon, on a cup. So, in on an angle and then come back and come back.
Could have made him some suspenders there.
I could have if I would have thought about it. And then if I were to do his nose, I would put the stop cut in, going across, and then go up with the push cut. And now I have, he's got a crooked nose. We'll leave him with a crooked nose. He's got his own characteristic.
Cool, do you see those gloves he has on? That's in case you make a slip up, right? You don't want to be cutting your fingers right off. Push cut, pull cut. So you guys learned a little bit about whittling there too. I had one of a Homestead homies one time. He sent me a little whittle that he did, and it was of me and my beard and my hat and a little bust. It's pretty cool. I think I got it at home somewhere. Maybe I'll find it and show it to you guys one time. All right, where the heck is Stacy at?
I'm afraid I'm gonna fall on you. You're all right. Just sit. I'll listen to you.
It's in my purse.
Oh my gosh, they're even taking pictures with baby goats. This is just too much.
How you doing?
Groovy like the movie.
Groovy like the movie. Long ago, the Pioneer Farm hog butchering was a real important time because folks wanted meat to eat. They didn't have money if they did have a store to go to, so they could go out in the river swamp and trap or kill a piney wood rooter. He's a big old boar hog, has a tush like this, and they root up roots and acres to eat, or they could kill their domestic hog on the farm. This is a big hog kettle, the big bowl leaning up here. This is my wash pots over here. They take and put the water in the hog kettle and light it up fire under and heat it up, called scalding the hog. They had to get it the perfect temperature, but back then they didn't have thermometers, so everybody had an old Uncle John. In our family, Uncle John could test that water. If he could hold his 4 fingers down in that water 4 seconds, it wasn't just hot enough. Woo! Because it's too hot, the hair set and won't scrape. Not hot enough, it won't scrape. So if they did the job right, they scald the hog, they get all the hair off of it. This is bad on the other side. They were real clean. They take and hang him up here and wash him down good.
cut him open and take out the parts they didn't want, which wasn't very many. Out of necessity for food and love for them parts, they boiled the head and made a hog head cheese. They ate the liver, they ate the stomach, they ate the pigtail, the pig feet. They took the intestines and cleaned them out and put them in the sausage house. Okay, the fat and the skin we cut out in this wash pot today. It's called rendered out lard Crisco. Good flaky pie crust, flaky biscuits, and the crackling fries up. This is dry, it's cracking skin. Mom can put it in the cloth bag by our wood stove and season or grease. A little bit of smoke and it dries that meat out. That's why you had to have cold weather outside so the meat wouldn't spoil while it was drying. Nowadays they put chemicals in our meat and they can smoke them year round. Y'all welcome when I get through talking to look at my smokehouse. I got some hanging up. When some of the meat they want to keep for a long period of time got good and smoked, they would layer that smoked meat in lard in the lard can, and that would keep a whole year. No refrigerator, no freezers. Y'all better listen. We may have to go back living like this.
I live it right now.
Is that right? Somebody come back from World War II and they found a can that was 2 years old, said it was best they ever ate. I said, I ain't changing my story. I can't believe it's good after a year. So, and if it would still be cold weather, they'd leave some of the meat hanging up there, send you out with a knife, cut out some meat, and come up a lot of rain and build the smoke and dry it out again.
Yep.
All wash pots. We got soup over here. This is a Dutch oven. And long ago out in the fields, the workers didn't have a lot to eat or to cook with, and they did cook cornbread on the hoe. Is where we get the term hoe cake from. And a lot of folks don't know that, so I like doing the hoe cake. The Indians cooked on a rock next to fire, and they called it an ash cake. And of course, the Dutch ovens and the wash pots was all real popular. If you wanted to take a hot bath, you had to heat your water and on that wood stove or in that wash pot. So thank the good Lord when you turn on that hot water now, if you hadn't toted the wood and chopped it, you had to do that and then wait for it to heat up. So it was quite a lot of work long ago, but lots to be said and done by people of old. Y'all can look in the smokehouse. We got hot cider, hot chocolate, links of sausage out of the smokehouse for sale, and that 13 bean soup is real good.
13 beans?
Uh-huh.
That's a lot of beans.
Different kind.
We tried it, but it didn't. I've used it before here, and it worked great, but it did not work this time.
Multi-purpose.
Fish pellet. I made the hook. He talks good.
Man, they even got some guys in there. Oh, too much sun, too much sun. They even got some guys in there running a forge and teaching you guys you could get some metal and pound on some metal off the forge there. Man, it's like hands-on, all kinds of stuff to do. Oh man, you see that? The sun's going down. We had a great time at the Pioneer Settlement. And where is it?
We're in Brownstown, Florida.
Yeah, and we had a great time. Thanks a lot for everyone who came out and, you know, loved on us and hung out with us, and we all encouraged each other and shared knowledge.
And it was really a keepers of the old ways. It was really cool. We met so many cool people. We learned so many things. And I even learned how they did the candles the old way.
Oh yeah,
that was really cool.
Yeah, she was nice. I really enjoyed her little talk and everything. So we tried to show you guys as much as we could, but the best thing to do is get tickets for these events, right? This is 2022, so you guys have your own destiny in your own hands right now. So you can search out these events all across our country, and you can get around like-minded people, build community, and you can learn the skills, get your hand dirty, make the mistakes, and be better for it. All right, so if you guys want information on this Florida gig, I think they're going to try to do it again next year. We'll leave a link down below for you. Otherwise, you can go to Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and you can check out some of the events we'll be at this year: the Homesteaders of America, the Homesteading Life Conference, and a few other things going on. So as always, we really appreciate you guys coming by the homestead and checking us out, and in this instance, coming to Florida with us.
Yep, it was a great time. We had so much fun. So
that's it. See you guys on the next video. On our way home to, I think, 7 inches of snow's on the way. Here we go.